So, Chris, thank you so much for giving us your time to briefly discuss with us at ICCG, you know, to really the journey that we have been together. And to get things started, maybe a quick introduction in terms of your role and also more about Wheeler Fleet Solutions, the business that you are supporting and growing will be a great start to understand a little more about you and about Wheeler.
Sure. So I'm Chris Wheeler, the CIO for Wheeler Fleet Solutions. I've been in this role now for a little over 10 years. And, our company, primarily a distributor of automotive products. So coming off of a homegrown ERP platform that was developed over many years, we struggled to scale. I'm sure as many companies do. As we evolved our business, the scale just wasn't present. So in mid-2019, we started looking for solutions for off-the-shelf ERP platforms, went through a pretty significant review process internally, and ultimately landed on Infor CloudSuite distribution in conjunction with the Infor WMS product. So that was made that decision in early 2020, and started down a path of integration with a different firm, but not ICCG originally. Went through that process for the better part of a year, and really struggled to achieve the results we were looking for across the board. So at that time, a gentleman that worked with ICCG had reached out, inquired about our progress. He was on the Infor sales, on the pre-sales team from Infor. Explained some of the issues. ICCG showed up within the week with quite a few solutions to our issues. So we kind of regrouped internally, and we had hit the pause button on the project, changed direction with our implementation partner, signed on with ICCG. This would have been summer of 2021, and from there we've had a really good success story with ICCG over those last 4.5 years. We went live initially with a manufacturing facility in Texas that was on our legacy platform. They were not WMS, just on the ERP side. Went live in 22, and immediately pivoted to a new greenfield location in Olive Branch, Mississippi. So that was about a 6-month endeavor where we launched the full WMS implementation integration, got our internal processes with our legacy ERP platform, got that team trained up, and we launched in January of 23. So that was really the big launch. And ICCG, your team supported this the entire way. So we had a very heavy engagement through the end of probably Q1, maybe into Q2 of 23. And from that point, we've been kind of stabilizing internally as we grow. Not a lot of change around the Infor platform, and recently reached out in this last year to have the discussions about bringing Infor now to our primary campus. So we are launching our first WMS warehouse on our primary campus here is launching in June. And our focus now is to convert the remaining aspects of the business off of that legacy platform in 26. So we'll have which is quite a large project. We'll be re-engaging for additional services in 26.
Yeah, that's amazing, Chris. A great story, a great company. I've been following your journey right from the start of our partnership, our relationship. And I know the leadership you have provided as the Chief Information Officer, as well as, part of the leadership team, executive leadership team, has been simply amazing. I think that has played a lot of critical role to get the project on track. So full kudos to you and to the team as well on your side, Chris. Sincerely appreciate it. We wish every customer follows that, as it really helps. Ultimately, it is a joint endeavor here. You are the one who's making the strategic investment and look for the return on investment. And hence, when a customer comes forward with this level of participation, it 100% allows us to be there as the enabler and support this implementation. Thank you for this update. Chris, just before letting you go with the other clarification would love to understand from you is if you could speak a little more about the customer experience for Wheeler working with ICCG in terms of our responsiveness, in terms of our skill sets, in terms of our ability to, come up and provide you the required support and meet your expectations. Some insights, if you could share there, Chris.
Sure. So, it's been much more than just a software conversion project. This was a much more of a transformational project on a whole, transforming the way we do business, the way we see our business, and the visibility we have around the different verticals within the business. So we reached out. When we reached out, we had the interview process with your consultants to try to figure out who's going to line up with our teams in what way, and went through that process. Those teams were, for the most part, present through the entire process, and to date, still the same team supporting this going forward. So our level of support from ICCG has been very consistent. It's been very timely. We've never had to wait when we reach out to gain additional support. We've never had any issues escalating any of the issues. Maybe if we had something slowing down the project, escalation's not been an issue. Really, it's been a great partnership from the onset, and we're looking to continue that. And the way we're structured, we brought in a bunch of our own resources internally. So this work is now transitioned into a collaboration between our WMS consultants, the ICCG consultants, and our own Infor staff that we've built up internally.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Chris. Thank you. Any advice you will give us, Chris, as to where we can even further enhance our offering of support to you?
That's an interesting question. So I'd say our biggest challenge has been, and I'm well aware that this was largely self-induced by our point of view, the more we could standardize an integration to a WMS, that takes all the noise out of the equation. We're still battling through that today. We had a lot of processes that were implemented through go live due to the timeline constraints that were less than optimal, that we're going back and cleaning up now. I don't have a very super clear vision of how you would make that pivot, if that's even possible given the nature of the product, but that's been our challenge as far as getting the most out of the system. We're struggling between what is process, what is data, and what is integration. And we have a lot of challenges around that WMS integration that I think are largely fall on our design, not necessarily ICCG's implementation, but the master data, lack of planning, poor design, and then poor feature set with Infor. So that there's things that are happening in that integration that I just think are fundamentally flawed, that not reflective of the integration itself.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very valuable feedback. And given the fact that we are very strategic with Infor and have definitely connection with the Infor leadership on the product side, and they're both on M3 as well as warehouse management, we will definitely have this dialogue with Infor and see how we can alleviate that challenge, which is just not only your challenge. I can assure you there are other customers who have expressed the same challenge. That's great. Anything else you would love to summarize? Otherwise, this is great feedback. I want to thank you sincerely for the gift of your time, Chris. It is very valuable. I've always respected your ability to provide us references for bringing in other M3 customers on board as well. And so we'll continue to rely on customers' voice like you to help us grow the M3 ecosystem, because in it lies the benefit also for customers who are adopting M3 as their system of record.
Absolutely. No,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.